So next up we're doing hooks. So for hooks, your momentum is going to go rotationally. So it's kind of spinning around you. So for a jab and a cross, it's going forward out in front of you. For the hook, it's this circle around you like a hurricane. Now, the power is going to come from two places. One is because you're impacting to the side of your opponent. If you're going from right to left and you push off right to left, you can get power through your leg that way. If you go left to right, push off your left leg onto your right leg, you get power from that. You also get power from this rotation, this spinning through the hips and the shoulders. And that's really important. And that's probably the tricky bit for most people. So you want to get weight on the ball of your feet, and your feet, the more they can pivot, the more you can turn your hip. So it's useful to have those pivot. So you're going to spin the feet and spin the hips and twisting through the hips like that. Obviously, because your hip turns, your shoulder turns as well, and that's where you can get that power from. So if you have your arms really relaxed and floppy and you let your feet pivot and rotate your hips aggressively, you should find that your arms will naturally start to follow that kind of pattern. And it's like you're trying to get all the blood to rush the ends of your fingertips by spinning out. Then what you can do is just bend your elbows, spin, 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 spin. So it's all about spinning those hips. And you want to keep your head facing forward as you do this. And then you can kind of maybe guard with one side. So guard with my right, left out, and spin. And you've basically got your hook there already. To the right, same thing in reverse. Spin through. As you throw, as I throw the left hook, so my front hand, if you're southpaw, will be the other way around. I like to imagine I'm stamping a nail underneath my spine. So you kind of stamp that heel down, and I'm going to catapult that hip forward. Spin the hip spins the shoulder, and that's going to spin the arm. It's called a hook because your arm's bent like a fishing hook, right? So you keep your arm bent, and if you go into the head, you want your hand kind of like that, palm down, rather than this way. If you go in the body, it doesn't matter so much. If you go in the head, it's quite nice to think of nice tight fist. You can go over the shoulder and come down onto the chin. So you get that rotation through. If you were to miss, you always want to keep that hand coming straight back. You don't extend out. You don't want to hook and then keep going. That'll leave you vulnerable to counter-attacking. And also, if someone's holding pads for you, as you impact and you straighten, you kind of jar their elbow. Even if you're not punching strong punches, it's kind of more jarring on the elbow than, you know, a really big, powerful punch. So yeah, you can hit pads as hard as you like if you're punching with good technique, but it's not good for a pad man either. But yeah, largely as well, if you do that and you follow through, you can leave yourself really vulnerable for a counter attack. So you want to, if you miss, just come straight back there. So over the shoulder, down through on the chin, lots of rotation, keep the elbow bent. Come back to guard. Knuckles that way around. If you go into the body, same kind of thing, twisting through. Let's think about coming up into the ribs. So twist, twist, up into the ribs. And you swing around. It's all about that rotation for the power. And the other thing is, you want to make it efficient. You want it to be tight. So if you're here, and your opponent's head is there, and you hook through, see here, I've got a bit of distance to accelerate, but there's not really wasted motion. So I can come around and get that power still. But what I'm not doing is this. Because all of this here, that's all wasted motion, because you get the power from the turn, and that's where you're driving in through the force in the last few inches. But you don't want to go too close and just kind of like push, because you lose loads of power there as well. You want to come out, so you've still got a few inches, and you can land. But you don't want to go, because all of this is wasted energy, bang. And it slows you down. You know, you're up against a trained fighter theoretically, so if you do this, by the time you're here, they've already hit you, moved out of the way, whatever they're going to do. So nice and tight, from your guard, turn the body, arm comes out, couple inches impact over the chin, impact up into the ribs, on whatever you want to do. Right, nice and tight. So you've got minimal time or you're not guarded. Using the other hand to protect as you do. Getting that power through rotating and twisting. Obviously you can step and hook as well. But you want to step and hook in the direction you're throwing your power. That's not very good. That can be very powerful. Especially if maybe you're coming in, maybe you've slipped a shot and you're stepping in and you've whipped in like that. Something like that you can, if you time it right, you can get a little bit more power out of those shots quite nicely. So yeah, tuck in. Don't come out too far for a haymaker. Don't come too close. You want your knuckles to impact with your wrist following it and your elbow following it. That is strong. That, see your elbow goes, or this, you're going to lose power because you've gone kind of this slapping motion. You've lost like structure and integrity. So you want to, the same for body shots, you want your knuckles to be followed by your wrist, to be followed by your elbows, this nice strong line coming through there. Even if it's coming up a little bit of an uppercut angle, the line of force is all in line. It's not that. There's no slapping. A nice solid transfer of force. Back to guard.